Hey guys, welcome back to the Everyday Money Guide. Today I am going to give you 3 hacks that you can use to trick your brain into saving more money. But first, if this is your first time to the channel, consider subscribing to grow your wealth, increase your success, and put you on the road to financial freedom. Also, I'd appreciate it if you smash the like button for me. That really helps this video and this channel in the YouTube algorithm. So lots of folks talk about saving more money. A lot of times it's a New Year's resolution or just a in general resolution, and they just kind of generally say it and don't have any specific plan or really anything that they're going to do other than to just say that they're going to save some more money. Like I said, I'm going to hit you today with 3 hacks that you can use or tips or whatever that will make you think about what's going on and make your brain save money for you without you thinking about it so much. I'm going to just hit you with the big one first. This is the number one thing that I always think of when I am considering making a purchase or saving that money. And this is, how many hours does this item cost me to purchase? And this is a powerful thing, because if you just think about things in dollar amounts, you might think of just $100. You just, it's $100, it's not a big deal, but you don't think necessarily about how much life it's taking you to get those items. So let's take, for example, a typical $20 an hour type of guy. So this is your $40,000 a year type of guy or girl, and they want to buy the latest smartphone, either iPhone or Android phone, whatever. They're going for upwards of $1,000. So if you are a $20 an hour worker, that phone is going to cost you 50 hours before tax. So you're looking at 1 1/4 weeks of work doing whatever you do to pay for that cell phone. So that is what makes this so powerful, is considering how much time you have to take out of your life to trade for the money, to trade for the item that you want to purchase. Now, the next thing to consider with this is that just because you make $20 an hour doesn't mean that you take home $20 an hour. Uncle Sam's going to want their take. Your 401k might want their take. That $20 an hour, I usually figure people take home about 75% of what their hourly rate is, turns into $15 an hour. So at $15 an hour after tax, that cell phone that took $50 an hour at $20, or that took 50 hours at $20 an hour, now takes 66 2/3 hours after tax. And so you're looking at almost 2 weeks worth of work for you to pay for that $1,000 item. So let's take a look at that shiny new car that you've had your eye on. The average new car cost in the United States is about $38,000, just over $38,000. So at your take-home rate of $15 an hour, that car is going to cost you 2,533 hours of your life earning the money to afford that car. So at the typical 2,080 per year work week or work year, you've spent over a year working and trading your time for money to afford this car. Now, let's say that you didn't have all $38,000 cash to pay for this car, and you took a 2.99% loan for 5 years. The entire cost of that car would now be $41,000, which at the take-home rate of $15 an hour would cost you 2,733 hours of your life to purchase this vehicle with a loan. So I think that just puts a powerful perspective on what things cost, and it's a great way to look at items when you're looking to purchase them, is how many hours of my life am I going to have to trade to afford this item. And when you look at larger ticket items like cars and things of that nature, it starts to become a staggering amount of time that will end up usually being years of your life to pay for these items. Okay, my second item that I wanted to talk to you about, the second mind hack to get you to spend less money, is going to be a way to reduce your impulse spending. And what I want you to do is, if you want an item, especially with the instantaneous way that you can order items anymore through Amazon or Walmart or Target or whatever, is that it makes it very easy for you to, without thinking, put add to cart and order the thing, right? So what I want you to do is I want you to take your items that you want to buy, go ahead and put them in that cart, but don't click the buy button. This is where you got to use a little bit of self-discipline and go ahead and sleep on that cart for 24 hours. And then if it's still something that you really want to buy, go ahead and order it if you can afford it. If it's not an online item, it's something that you're going to have to pick up, at a brick and mortar store or whatever, put it in your mental cart. Just think, I want this item. I'm going to sleep on it. I'm going to make sure that it is something that I actually want to purchase. That'll give you time to go back and think about how much of your life you're going to have to trade for this item. And we'll just give you, a little bit of time to think about it and not make necessarily so many impulse buys that really rattle down your savings. I made another video on this. I'll link it, where I go into how small purchases that you don't even think about, like $5 purchases, end up growing into a lot of money over the course of your life. And doing this, putting this either in your online cart or your mental cart, thinking about it for a minute could save you quite a bit of money. My third money-saving brain hack is going to be to consider the opportunity cost that you lose when you purchase any item. And what opportunity cost is, if you're not familiar with it, is the loss of future potential gain. So that money that you're spending right now, you have that money, it is here in your hands, you will never have those dollars again. And you can either put those dollars to work as your little workers out there investing in growing in value, and they will throw off cash over time, and it'll build up to a large sum of cash. So if you spend those and they're not working for you, they're working for someone else who you've now paid for a product or service, you have lost that potential gain. So when you think about opportunity cost, you're thinking about the future value of the money that you're going to spend right now. So let's take that $1,000 phone example again. A lot of folks take these on 36 months, 0% interest, which if you're going to take a loan, 0% interest is the way to be. At the end of that 3 years, at 36 months, if you would have invested that money in an S&P 500 fund or something similar to that will return approximately 10% a year. I talk about these all the time on my channel. You're probably going to get sick of it. In the comments, people will be like, well, you stop talking about 10% return S&P 500 funds. But nonetheless, it's a stable index that you can look at in history. At the end of those 3 years, that $1,000 dollar amount would be worth $1,331. If you roll that out to 10 years down the road, it would be $2,593.74. So the thing to look at that is that phone, do you need it right now? Can you wait 2 or 3 years to purchase a phone instead of buying one every single year? Because those savings will add up quite a bit, especially if it's invested and compounded. Let's take a look at that $35,000 shiny new car with the new car smell that all your friends are going to be impressed by, right? And everyone at stoplights and things of that nature. At the end of the typical 5-year loan, that $35,000 would be worth $56,000. So not quite doubling your money, but it's quite a bit more than the $35,000 that you paid for it. If you look at that over a 10-year span with a 10% return, you're talking about $91,000. So now you're talking about being able to buy 2, almost 3 of these vehicles with the same amount of that you would have spent on this one. Now I realize that a couple of these items that I mentioned are things that you either may need to have, like for example a vehicle if you live in a place where you have to commute to work, or you basically need to have like a good smartphone that is reasonably quick and does the things that you want. However, if you can hold off buying these things 1 or 2 more years, you can hold off 3 or 4 more years on a new car, and you have that money invested instead, you may be able to purchase that item with the proceeds from those investments, or at least at the end of 40 or 50 years, delaying each individual purchase, you may end up with a lot of money from not purchasing things right away. In addition, if you hold off 1 or 2 years on the phone, if you hold off 3 to 5 years on a vehicle, you are going to get a much better product for likely about the same cost. So hopefully this gives you 3 good brain hacks that will help you save money by sleeping on it and not necessarily making so many impulse purchases, by considering how many hours of your life you're going to have to trade for these items in order to purchase them, and to also consider the potential gain lost of the opportunity cost when you purchase an item and that money is now out of your hands. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to grow your wealth, increase your success, put you on the road to financial freedom. Be sure to like this video for me. It really helps out in the YouTube algorithm. Also, check out the videos that are on the screen. They're going to help you do all of these things and get you ahead financially now and in the future. I appreciate you guys watching, and I look forward to seeing you again on the next one.